Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now, today's reading, we'll be doing the February monthly reading. So the general reading for the month of February 2018 for all of the signs. For the main reading, which will be a 10-card Celtic cross spread, I will use the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. And I will pull two additional cards, oracle cards, just to enhance our reading. One will be from the Soulful Woman oracle card deck, and the other one is from the Ask Your Guides oracle card deck. Okay, as a reminder, please, in addition to watching your sun sign video, take a look at your moon sign and your rising sign video. That way, you'll have a really, a more or broader overview of what is in store for you during the month. Sometimes the messages in one will resonate more than the other. So, and obviously, as I always say, these are general readings, so please do keep that in mind. The messages may or may not resonate. The only way for you to get a truly personalized reading focusing on you and what is going on in your life right now would be to get a private reading from me. And if you're interested, you can do that by checking out my website, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you'll find all of the services I offer as well as pricing, or you could send me an email at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. All right, so I think that's it for the introduction. I will stop for now and see you in 1 second for your readings. Hi Aquarius, I'm here to get into your February 2018 reading. As you can see, I have already laid the cards out. I shuffled and pulled the cards off camera just to try to save time. So we have, as your overall card for the month of February 2018, couldn't get a better card than this, right? Major Arcana, this is number 19 of the Major Arcana, the Sun. Beautiful card for the overall energy of the month. Let me show you the cards, and then I'll go through the meaning of each of the cards. At the center of your reading, you have the King of Wands. You actually have a ton of Wands cards here. You'll see when I start holding them up. At the center of your reading, King of Wands, crossed by the Two of Wands. The foundation of your reading is the Nine of Wands. In the past position, you have the Ace of Wands. Crowning your reading, you have the Two of Swords. In the future position, you have the Six of Wands. You in the reading appear as Major Arcana number 17, the Star. Your surrounding energy, or the energy in your environment, is the Seven of Wands. Your hopes and fears, you have the Five of Pentacles. And the outbound energy for the month of February, the Page of Cups. Okay? So the first thing that I would point out is that, out of the 11 cards, so the 10 cards of the Celtic cross spread, plus the 1 card from the bottom of the deck, out of those 11, you have 2 major arcanas, okay? And the rest of them, they're all minor arcanas with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those minor arcanas being Wands cards. So lots of very fiery energy, passionate energy, creative energy. And I would say, you kind of have more control over what is going on for you during the month of February because of all of the minor arcana cards here, but we'll get to that. So starting off with the overall energy of the Sun card. Now the Sun, this is sometimes referred to as, the most positive card in the entire deck. It's a beautiful card to have for the month. It's a card that speaks of great happiness. It's a card that speaks of enlightenment. The sun comes in to shine its warmth to heal you. So it's great for good health. The sun also shines its light on situations to give clarity. So maybe there's something that, during the month of February you receive clarification on, right? There's some type of enlightenment as well attached to the sun. It's a card of great, feeling very confident, feeling, feeling in good health, feeling as though sort of all is right with the world. If there is something that you're waiting for an answer on with the sun card, it's basically just a big yes to whatever it is that you're waiting for. So, having this sort of guiding your month, this is a beautiful energy. Now, at the center of your reading, right, you have this King of Wands card. So, speaking first about the Suit of Wands, since you have so many Wands cards in your reading, the Suit of Wands is, we generally think of it as the suit that deals with, the day-to-day matters, day-to-day activities, right? So it has to do with our career, the jobs that we do each day. It has to do with, the mundane sort of chores as well, but it also has to do with creative projects, creativity, artistic endeavors. It's also, our own kind of passion and strength and ambition for getting those things done. So beginning with this king, when we have the court cards in a reading, they can be people that are playing a significant role in our lives during this time. So this might be an older fire sign male. If so, then this would typically be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. It's really not gender specific in these general readings, but usually this would be, an older individual. And, the kings and queens of the tarot, they have really mastered their suit, right? So they've mastered, for example, he would have mastered all of the qualities, characteristics of the Suit of Wands. So he is somebody who's he's very creative, he's very ambitious, he's quite bold, he's kind of a force to be reckoned with, he's very charismatic, he's a true leader, people sort of look up to him for advice, for, if they're trying to make a decision on something, they sort of follow his lead. And he is very, he's a visionary, he's very strong, very strong personality, but he's also very charming, very magnetic. So this could be somebody that you are dealing with. Obviously, Aquarius, you're an air sign, so this is not your sign, but, if this is not an actual person here that that you're dealing with, this could be you taking on the energy of this King of Wands. So you feeling very creative, very fiery, very passionate about whatever you have going on this month. And what's crossing this king is a Two of Wands. So, a decision that needs to be made. But with this decision, which is interesting because you have the Two of Wands as the crossing card here of the King of Wands. Crowning your reading, you have another two, which is a Two of Swords. And these are, although similar, they're also quite different in that the Two of Wands is really about you having the control, right? It's about you sort of feeling very powerful, feeling very, having that sort of authority to make a decision on something, right? We know that with the twos in the tarot, they usually speak of balance, they speak of choices, and this could be, as this is a Wands card, this could be a choice, something to do with your work or something to do with a creative project or creative endeavor, needing to choose, right? You can see that he is sort of has the two wands here. Usually it's, kind of looking down two paths, having to pick one as opposed to the other. But it's all about you feeling very courageous and, willing to take that risk, willing to say, okay, I'm going to go this way and, focus my energies on this particular path, which is very different than the energy. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but it's just because of the two twos. The energy of this Two of Swords card, it's a card that shows that, there is a decision that needs to be made, but the person is sort of unable or unwilling to make that decision. Okay, so the Swords energy it's mental energy. So it's you know, it's our thoughts, it's our intellect, it's how we communicate with others, right? So it's cerebral energy, it's, you know, what we have going on in our mind. And so this card, sometimes it's referred to as like the, you know, the stalemate card. It kind of represents an impasse, it's feeling as though you're stuck, unable to move forward. You can see that the woman on the card, she is blindfolded. She's holding these two swords, but in a very protective way, right? She's crossing the swords, you know, has them crossed in front of her, sort of protecting her heart, protecting herself. And she's blindfolded, you know, sort of symbolizing that she is unable to make a decision, or is trying to avoid making a decision, right? You know, there are two paths. We have ravens. The ravens are sort of circling around her, going in different directions. So there is a choice that needs to be made, a path that needs to be taken, but she is unwilling or unable to do so, right? And so she's not wanting to face something and you know, make that decision, take the decision, which is different than this Two of Wands energy. So interesting that you have both here. But going back to this Two of Wands, so, you know, you making a decision, somehow this, you know, is related to this King of Wands. So this could be, you know, you as the King of Wands, you know, feeling very strong, feeling very confident, and sort of taking matters into your own hand and running with it, you know, going with it. What you have at the foundation is this Nine of Wands, which, you know, it speaks of, it's a card of feeling sort of defensive, you know, like when you have to, you've already been up against, you know, a number of different things. It looks as though the woman here is just sort of resting, you know, and she does have support next to her. She has this lion, but, you know, she's not really resting. She's still on the defensive, and she's still kind of looking around. She's still, you know, making sure that there isn't anybody coming after her, or, you know, and she's also considering what the next steps are. So she doesn't want to, you know, she's kind of moving ahead, but cautiously, right? And so she's sort of taking this time out to consider what her next steps are. That she doesn't want to be caught off guard. So she's, you know, she's keeping her eye on where she's headed here. You know, it's like you've made this choice here, but you know, there's still this kind of, you know, am I going in the right direction? Is, even though you are taking matters into your own hands, you still feel a little on the defensive with that here. And what you have in the past position is another card, you know, also a Wands card, but this is a brand new, something brand new. It's a new beginning, right? The aces in the tarot, they're yes cards. They're also, you know, divinely sort of guided cards. This usually in the traditional tarot deck, it shows a hand, you know, the hand of the universe, the divine hand extending with something. In this case, with the Ace of Wands, could be a new job opportunity, could be a new creative venture, could be a new project, right, at work, could be something new, you know, you starting up something new on your own. Whatever it is, it's, you know, the card kind of, it encourages us to really move forward, you know, move towards whatever this new goal is with confidence, you know, and sort of harness all of your creative energy, put your fears aside, right, which is what we have here, and move forward. And then we get to the, like I was saying, the Two of Swords, which is, again, is this sort of fear energy, or not wanting to see something, or being, you know, unwilling to make a decision. In the end, you know, and so you have these kind of opposing, right, energies here, or sort of similar energies, but in kind of opposing positions. What you get to in the future position is the Six of Wands. So whatever this is, and the Six of Wands is mirroring the Ace of Wands. So this new beginning, once you've made this choice and you head off on this path, there's definitely success in that, you know, and that's just kind of echoed here by the Sun card as your overall energy. So success is definitely on the horizon. The Six of Wands, it speaks of receiving accolades. It speaks of, you know, recognition, acknowledgement. This could be in the form of, you know, being recognized for some artistic project that you've done. This could be in the work environment, you know, receiving a raise, or getting some attention for something that you've done in the workplace. So it's just, it's a very positive card of victory, right? And again, the man is victorious, but he's also carrying this crystal ball here. So there's still this, vision and insight and, enlightenment and moving towards whatever this new beginning is, this new path. But, knowing that he is going to be victorious, right? We have the two sort of yes victory cards. We have a yes card here, a victory card here, and a yes victory card over here. You in the reading appear as the star. Now the star is it's a major arcana card, and it speaks of it has to do with healing. It has to do with hope. It's the wish upon a star, so having your dreams come true. This star card also speaks of positive, wishing upon a star, having a positive outlook. We can see that on the card, the woman, she's surrounded here by 8 stars. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. And 8 is a number of strength. It also speaks of, needing to accept our own imperfections, and sort of building our self-esteem in spite of that, right? And it's also, like I was saying, it's a card that speaks of, wishing upon a star. So having your wishes come true, whatever your intentions, whatever you have set as your objective, having those things come true. What you have in your environment, or how people are seeing you, is the 7 of Wands. Now, this is a card that usually speaks of, again, it's Wands energy, some more fire energy. But it's a card that speaks of conflict and struggle. And you see here that on the card, the man, he has 6 wands, sort of all pointed at him here, and he is holding his, right, in his hand. And even though he's outnumbered, he actually has the upper hand. So it's a card that, yes, it does represent conflict, but, he has a shield to defend himself. He has the dragon as well. He has the upper hand by, he's seated sort of upon this higher peak here. So even though he's outnumbered, he's been caught off guard, he has the upper hand here. So it's kind of this, he's a fearless warrior, and he's facing whatever conflict is coming at him. So you have that, is what's going on in your environment, how people are viewing you. Now, your hopes and fears has to do with this feeling of lack, and it's pentacles, right? We have this 5 of pentacles, and it's the only pentacles card that you have in your spread. And pentacles is a card of it's earth energy, so it has to do with the material things in life, right? So our jobs, the money that we make from the work that we do, the material possessions that we are able to accrue and purchase with the money that we make. But this 5, usually it speaks of, failure, of loss, of feeling sort of out in the cold, feeling as though, there's something lacking, but with regards to material things, material prosperity, right? There might actually be, you. And on the card, the woman, she is, yes, she's out in the cold, but she has her child with her, so it's, this card, it indicates feeling alone, feeling sort of abandoned, somehow unwanted, some type of failure as well associated with this card, but, yes, the situation is bleak, but the woman has, the two of them, they have each other. There is, love and warmth and companionship, right? So there might be things lacking on the material side, but, emotionally, spiritually, they are rich and they have enough. So, and this is only a fear, so it's really about, it has to do with the feeling. And since it is a fear of, having or not having enough, I would just say that, focus more on the positive, and that goes back to the star card here, right? And having that more positive outlook and having a more positive view of yourself, of the situation. Try to look on the positive side, because we do have this beautiful energy of the sun over here. So, definitely there's great energy surrounding you, and this is only a fear. It's not reality. And the other cards that you have going on here, you have a lot of very positive energy surrounding you this month. And the outbound card you have is the Page of Cups. So this is the only Cups card that you have in your reading as well. And the Suit of Cups, it deals with our emotions, our feelings, relationships. It has to do with psychic abilities as well, the subconscious. And the pages are the ones who bring in news, right? And since this is a court card, this could be a person that you're dealing with this month. If so, it would typically be a younger water sign individual, so Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, but doesn't necessarily have to be, right? And I do feel it's more of, a situation, because pages bring in news, and this is news of something that, could possibly bring you great happiness, emotional joy. It oftentimes it symbolizes or signifies, new relationships. So beginnings, those beginning, phase, or the beginning phase of a new relationship, could be a friendship, could be romantic in nature. Sometimes it indicates news of a birth, right? So birth of a child, possible, baby coming in for some of you. But the pages are messengers, so they bring in news of things, and it's all about, being open, being receptive, much like this beautiful cup that she is staring at in front of her, being open and receptive to whatever this news is, whatever this message is, right? Whatever you might be receiving as far as news. And, again, with the Six of Wands in the future position, this is Page of Cups, this beautiful news of something coming in the outbound energy. And then the Sun, it looks like it's going to be a very good month for you. The two cards that came out as the Oracle cards, we have from the Ask Your Guides deck, Priorities, Master Teacher. And from the Soulful Woman deck, we have card number 36, Feminine Law of Attraction. I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. So for these cards, I like to read the full meaning from the guidebook. So let me start off with first. This is card number 12. And this card says, for every new ambition, relationship, and experience you seek at this time, there's a commitment in place that must be eliminated to make way for the new. Current routines, habits, and even types of free time must be sacrificed so that you can open up to new energies. Your master teacher is present, urging you to identify what must go. Be honest in your assessment, and also be realistic and thoughtful in setting your goals so that you don't overreach and fail. Your master teacher reminds you that even though the universe does support your heart, it doesn't allow you to bypass the work necessary to manifest your desires. In other words, you reap what you sow. And the best way is to systematically move towards your priorities while simultaneously discarding what no longer serves you. If you want to lose 10 pounds, you must release jelly donuts. If you want to work for yourself, you must let go of the need for others to take care of you. If you want to create a new love relationship, you mustn't brood over past heartbreaks any longer. The message from your master teacher: to reach for something greater, you must first let go of what is in your hand. Interesting. And the other card that you have, card number 36, this card says, I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. I follow the dreams and desires that feel right for me. I am guided to make the right choices for me, regardless of what others may be doing. I take the next step, knowing that the answers and solutions will appear to me as I need them, at the right time, and as I am ready to act on them. I use the law of attraction to gently examine the results in my life, using these results to refine my beliefs, habits, and actions. I trust in the flow. Rather than following fearful thoughts, I feel gratitude for the opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. I continue to focus on those things that bring me delight and make me eager for more. And, I think that this really ties in very well with the majority of your reading here. You have so many Wands cards for the month of February, Aquarius, that, it's just, what this card was just speaking about is you, being this female creator, right, and loving this creative adventure, and, and setting off on this, not taking the next step, not really knowing what it is. There's so much of that contained here in your reading. And I would just say, don't be scared to take this next step, because you are being guided here, right? You're being guided. Things are going to work out. There are new beginnings. For a small number of you, I was just drawn to the Sun card, and obviously on the Sun card we see the woman, and she's holding the child here. And I was saying with the Page of Cups that there might be news, some type of news of a birth or of a pregnancy. So for a number of you, there might be news of that coming in. I just caught my eye. But, overall, I would say just it's a very powerful, very creative, very, a month with great momentum, forward movement. And, it looks as though you're definitely heading in the right direction. And you have, the blessing of the sun sort of shining over the whole month for you. So a nice reading. So I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I thank you very much for joining me here today. I look forward to reading for you again next month. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of February. Bye for now.